Today, we're going to dig into a fascinating 400-year-old essay from Francis Bacon. It's all about something we think we know inside and out, friendship. But Bacon looks at it in a way that is, well, surprisingly practical. We're not talking about warm, fuzzy feelings here. He's all about the uses of a friend.
It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? Today we talk about friendship in terms of love and loyalty, but Bacon approaches it like a strategist. And to really get why, you have to understand the world he was living in.
So, let's set the stage. Francis Bacon was a major player in Elizabethan England. He was a lawyer, a politician, a courtier. His whole life was about climbing the ladder in a very competitive and, frankly, dangerous world. His entire philosophy was built on this idea of worldly wisdom. Think of it as a playbook for how to get ahead, how to get rich, get powerful, and succeed. So when he sits down to write about friendship, he's not asking, how does this make me feel good? He's asking, how does this help me win at the game of life? And that lens changes everything.
Okay, so Bacon breaks down the benefits of friendship into three main categories, and he calls them fruits. The first one, and you could argue it's the most important, is all about the heart. It's about emotional release.
Wow. Just let that image sink in. Bacon is saying that if you keep all your thoughts and feelings locked away, all your worries, your joys, your secrets, you're basically eating yourself alive from the inside. It's a form of self-destruction.
And I love this next part. Bacon makes this amazing medical analogy. He says, look, you can take medicine to help your liver or your lungs, but there's no pill you can swallow that will open up your heart. The only cure for all those pent-up feelings, what he calls the swellings of the heart, is a true friend you can talk to. This isn't just a nice-to-have. For Bacon, it's essential medicine for the soul.
And here's the simple, beautiful math of it all. You share good news, the joy is literally doubled. You share something terrible, the weight of it is cut in half. It's like a perfect emotional equation that always works in your favor.
And if you think this is just for ordinary folks, think again. Bacon points to some of the most powerful, paranoid, and ruthless rulers in all of history. These guys had family, they had power, but what they desperately needed was a real friend, a sharer of cares, as the Romans put it. They would elevate commoners and trust them completely, often at huge personal risk, just to have one person they could be real with. That right there shows you just how fundamental this need is.
All right, so let's move on to the second fruit. If the first one was all about our emotions and our heart, this next one is all about the mind. It's about getting mental clarity.
This is probably my favorite metaphor in the whole essay. Imagine a giant, intricate tapestry all folded up. You can't see the picture, right? It's just a confusing mess of fabric. Bacon says that's what our thoughts are like when they're stuck inside our own heads. The moment you start talking to a friend, it's like you're unfolding that tapestry, and suddenly you can see the whole picture, clear and organized.
Now here's the kicker. This clarity, this wisdom, it happens before your friend even says a word back. The simple act of saying your thoughts out loud forces you to organize them. Bacon says, an hour of talking with a friend will make you wiser than a whole day of just thinking by yourself. Your friend's mind becomes a kind of whetstone that sharpens your own.
To explain this further, Bacon borrows this brilliant little phrase from an ancient Greek philosopher, Heraclitus, dry light. It means pure objective judgment, a view that isn't clouded by emotions. And where do you find that? Well, probably not within yourself. Let's be honest, our own advice is always soaked in our feelings, our biases, our ego. As Bacon says, there is no such flatterer as is a man's self. We are masters of telling ourselves exactly what we want to hear. A true friend, on the other hand, gives you that dry light, that honest, clear-eyed perspective that can cut right through your own nonsense and help you see things as they really are.
Bacon also gives a pretty stark warning here. Be careful about getting bits and pieces of advice from different people. Asking one person about your career and another about your relationship. They don't know the whole you. Their advice might be self-serving, or it could fix one problem while causing 5 new ones. Only a true friend who really gets your whole situation can give you advice that's actually safe and sound.
And that brings us to the third and final fruit. This one is maybe the most Bacon-esque of them all. It's about pure, practical help in the real world.
And his metaphor here is just perfect. He says this third benefit is like a pomegranate. It's not one single thing. It's packed with all these tiny little kernels, and each kernel is a different, tangible way a friend can actually help you get things done.
You know that old saying, a friend is another self? Well, Bacon hears that and says, nope, that's not quite right. He thinks a friend is far more than yourself. Why?
because a friend can do things for you that you are literally incapable of doing for yourself.
Let's just quickly run through how this works, because it's pretty brilliant. First, a friend can basically extend your life by carrying on your work after you're gone. Second, they can be your deputy, your representative in places you can't be. Third, a friend can praise you or ask for a favor on your behalf without it seeming arrogant or awkward. And finally, a friend can say things you can't. A father can't always give certain advice to his son, but a friend can. A friend literally multiplies what you're able to do in the world.
So, after going through this incredibly systematic, almost scientific breakdown of friendship, what are we supposed to make of all this?
So we have the three fruits. A friend helps your heart, clarifies your mind, and acts as your agent in the world. It's a powerful, pragmatic framework. But just when you think it all sounds a little cold, there's a really important piece of context. In the last year of his life, Bacon actually rewrote this very essay. He did it at the request of his best friend, Sir Toby Matthew, to honor their lifelong bond. It kind of suggests that even for the ultimate philosopher of worldly wisdom, he knew that under all the utility, there was something deeply personal and true.
So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. Is Bacon's view of friendship just a cold, cynical calculation, a user's manual for people? Or is it a kind of timeless wisdom, a brutally honest look at why our friends aren't just a comfort, but an absolute necessity for living a full, successful, and truly human life?